How can you tell if a product idea will work out? Our minimum viable product presentation, which can be downloaded and customized to your product needs, provides guidance from the initial triage of tasks to the development and execution of the MVP. More importantly, it includes North Star metrics that would ultimately determine if the MVP is successful. We'll cover tools such as jobs to be done, MVP scope, MVP tree, concept testing report, validation testing, product adoption curve, MVP cycle, and customer churn analysis, plus many more. Let's explore how these slides can help align stakeholders and communicate product vision. The jobs to be done framework is instrumental to understand customer pain points and guide the brainstorming process. JTBD defines and organizes customer needs given each user type's context and circumstances. The example here shows 3 tracks for 3 user types whose goals and JTBD may differ. This is useful for products who have 2 or more different customer types, such as a marketplace app like Airbnb, where there are hosts and travelers who both need to be serviced. The layout takes into account the evolution of a product, from initial inception to earliest testable product and its multiple iterations, to the MVP, and finally to a more refined product loved by the crowd. Next up, it's time to define the scope of your MVP to avoid scope creeping. This slide clearly defines features for the MVP launch based on user stories. The top row represents the critical user flow. This is the journey that users must take in order to get to their jobs to be done. Without this user flow, there would be no functional product. The higher on the chart it is, the more important the feature is. From this list, draw the MVP line for features critical for the product to be functional. Everything below that should be saved for the future. Traditionally, when it comes to providing an MVP blueprint, product managers have used a standard product canvas. An alternate visualization is the MVP tree, which moves beyond features to highlight the whole package of how to market an MVP. It includes the target customers to market to, the channels to use and how it will be delivered, any post-sales CRM strategy, and everything necessary for a well-planned product launch. Now, it's time to develop a plan to validate whether the MVP works or not. This concept testing report slide highlights findings based on results from interview participants you recruit to get their feedback on the initial iteration. In this example, there are 3 contending concepts that are used to test the waters. Based on responses and reactions from interview participants, it seems that concept 3 performed well, while concept 2 wasn't so popular. Feel free to add or delete the bar graphs based on how many concepts your team is considering. On the left, summarize the insights that can be distilled from the test results and share them with stakeholders as recommendations for the next steps. Remember, if you like the tools in this presentation, you can download and customize them for your needs right now. With MVPs, it's easy to make the mistake of only interpreting the test results that seem to suggest a successful launch. In order to prevent that bias, make sure to define the exact success metrics before conducting any tests. These North Star metrics will illustrate what success looks like. Even if other metrics appear promising, they shouldn't overrate the North Star numbers. This slide highlights the validation metrics that the product team has agreed upon ahead of time, with space at the bottom to track improvement against previous iterations. When it comes to the execution and development of any product, this adoption curve allows the product team to understand where exactly their product is in the market. Are we still in the early stage market, or have we passed the chasm to the mainstream market? Is it growing upward into maturity or declining into oblivion? Enter data you've accomplished on the left-hand column to show progress to date. The MVP cycle follows an agile development process characterized by rapid iteration. This slide helps plot where you are in the development process, ensuring the whole team is on the same page. Because with all the back and forth, things can get a little convoluted. According to design thinking, start by defining a clear user need. Then research, observe, and prioritize insights. After this generative phase, narrow down ideas into testable hypotheses and potential solutions. Continue to experiment and refine as new learnings enter the picture. After the MVP has been launched, use a customer churn analysis table to group users into cohorts and track retention. For example, on March 22nd, 113 users joined, and by the end of the first day, 98% remained. By the sixth day, approximately 20% remained. Typically, the more time that passes, more users are lost, but up to a point, these churn rates should stabilize. Otherwise, it might be time to rethink the product and go back to the drawing board. Download and customize the minimum viable product presentation to successfully plan, develop, and evaluate innovative product ideas. For more resources like this, check out our customer needs analysis presentation video to learn how to understand user needs and motivations. Thank you so much for watching.